countdown. Is this new? Oh, we're starting. Why do we always do this?
Girl,
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, hey everybody, and welcome to your Essential Detox with Ebony and Pearl.
Hello.
Oh my god. All right, so we know it's been a couple of months, but life happened, and we're out here adulting. The most ghetto thing
Unfortunately.
anybody can do in their life.
Unfortunately, we're out here adulting.
Yeah.
But what can we do?
Hey, you know, things happen. I know I've had some life changes recently that pretty much made it to where we had to keep putting off, and then, you know, Pearl had some things, and so we just, you know, hey, gotta work with what you got.
Exactly. But hey, we didn't stop.
No, we didn't.
Nothing stopped the progress, that's for sure.
Not at all.
All right. So the first thing we want to talk about tonight on the docket is somebody went out of the country a couple of months ago. Somebody decided to go over across the water to a foreign country. And we need to hear the tea about this.
Oh man. Okay. So yes, Ebony, went to Dubai, and it was the best vacation I've ever taken. I mean, it was beautiful. It was hot.
Oh,
but
really?
It wasn't. But so here's the thing: it's not the heat that people like blog about or talk about. It literally is the same equivalent of you being in Houston or New Orleans. The only thing is like the humidity is like what kind of got me a little bit, but it really was not bad. Like you can walk around and, you know, do whatever you want to do. Like it was fine. And the thing is, like, I went in September. I was there for like 5 days. And so saw a lot of really amazing, beautiful things. We stayed at the Radisson Riverfront Hotel.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, girl, it was nice. Right there on the water. So like they have a couple of bodies of water. One that's man-made, but like literally they have water that goes into like I want to say the Gulf. One of them Gulfs. And
Okay.
yeah, girl, it's something like that. But yeah, I mean, we learned a lot about the history of Dubai. And there's a couple of ways you can say it, because you can either say Dubai, like we say it, or Dubai. And, you know, just finding out that Dubai doesn't have a lot of things that they have of their own, because they have a lot of immigrants coming from like Pakistan, Iran, just all over. And so, and a lot of the food that they have, it's, you know, it's traditional Indian food, and it's really, really good. And it was some food that was like really spicy.
I'm not surprised about that, especially with the Indian influence, because they love their spices.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's very much so flavorful, and the spice. I mean, for some people it may be way too much, but if you just keep eating it, you really get the flavors. Like, I enjoyed a lot of the food that I ate, and we even stopped and ate at this Lebanese restaurant, and that food was so good.
Really?
But, oh girl, it was so good. But so now for things that we actually went and did, we went to the Burj Khalifa, which is it's a mix of like residential with this outside deck that you can go to on like one of the top floors. So we went to we took an elevator all the way up to the 124th floor. And then like right when you get up there, you walk through this little way, and then you go through a revolving door, and you're on this deck. And literally you are looking over Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And we went at night, so we were able to see Dubai just lit up. It was amazing.
Now, is Dubai like a large country?
It's so Dubai is a state and a city. But the actual country is the UAE, which is United Arabic Emirates.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
And it's 7 states. Don't ask me what all them 7 states are, because I straight up forgot.
I'm not gonna ask.
Y'all can go Google it. But it was just really beautiful. So yeah, so we went to the Burj Khalifa. Then we went to the last thing that we did before we left was going to the Jumeirah Mosque. And it was just so beautiful to see this mosque where anybody who's Muslim or, you know, believes in or practices the Islamic faith, they can go there, pray, and they have like 5 or 6 times during the day that they have to pray. And it's like set times. And of course, like they understand, like if you're a mother and you have kids and you're trying to like get them together to come to the mosque, like just stay where you are and pray. But, or even, you know, if you're trying to get to the mosque and you get there a bit late, they have separate rooms for like the women and men for them, because there's like the big open area. Then like if people come late, there are side areas, one for women, one for men. And so you just go to that area and you do the prayer. And not everybody has to actually like chant the prayer, but everybody has to do the movements. And it's, you know, just a time for reflection and giving thanks. We learned a lot about the Islamic faith and the history of Islam. Just, it was very beautiful. But let's see, we did a tour of Dubai. And then we went to a gold souk, and we went to one of the markets that they have. And so I got quite a few things, which I'll be giving you your thing when I see you for Christmas. Along with your Christmas gift from last year. But anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just very beautiful, and just the culture is just amazing. And the fact that they are a city and state and even the full country, they're just living in beautiful harmony. So when COVID happened, the UAE... I
was going to ask you about that. How was like the COVID restrictions and everything over there?
So here's the thing. When COVID happened, the UAE and Israel, they did a treaty that their people that Israelis could come over to the UAE to seek asylum. And so all the fighting or whatever that was going on between them is completely ceased. Like they did that, and I was like, oh my God, like wait. So I mean, and then when you go over there, like no matter what religion you are or what religion you practice, you have somewhere where you can worship and pray and all of those things. So like, I mean, it's Christians, Catholics, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, all
the whole
of them.
9 yards.
They're over there, yes.
Okay.
But now, so as far as COVID, getting there, so the day of our flight, we had to get a COVID test. And the way that they did it was from the time that we touched down in Doha, Qatar, I want to say it was 72 hours before then is when we had to have a COVID test, which was pretty much our flight going over. Then, what else was it? Then once we got into Dubai, we had to take a COVID test. We'd take another one, because then by the time we got over there, the test that we had already taken, it would have expired. So we had to take another one. Then while we were there, everywhere we went, we had to wear a mask.
Understandable.
Even if we were walking outside, we had to have on a mask. I mean, and then you literally see so many people like walking around masked up. They're not, talking about my rights and all this other shit. Like, they are actually following the rules. And I want to say majority, if not everybody that lives over there, they are vaccinated. They've had they've had very few deaths. I mean, they have had some people die from COVID, but theirs is like in the thousands, like the lesser thousands, like 1,000, 2,000, with majority of their people, if not all of their people, being vaccinated. Like, they take that shit serious over there. They're not over there talking about, oh, my choice, my rights. No, they're understanding we're choosing life than to just sit up here and be spreading this shit, you know?
Right.
So that was just really awesome to be over there. And then, you know, there's kind of this whole thing of like, you need to be covered. Well, it's customary and it's respectful to be covered, but you don't exactly have to be covered, because we saw a whole lot of women that wasn't that covered. And I was like,
yeah, I think that's more so with the religion.
Yeah.
They want to be covered like that.
Well, no, it's not even religion. It's really, truly a respect factor.
Oh, really?
Which, yeah, it's religious, but it's also a respect factor of the men, because the whole thing is you don't want onlookers looking at you in a lustful, sexual way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how, I mean, it's, like I said, it's religious, but it's also respectful, and it is a law.
It's a law?
I believe so. Probably so.
I might have to Google that.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, like, when you walk around and you see, like, most of the actual people that are from Dubai or are living in Dubai, they, you know, they're covered. Like, maybe their heads. Now, you know, there was some that for their religious beliefs and how far they go with the traditional faith, they would have their head and their face covered up to their eyes. Then you had other people that just had their head covered, and then some of them didn't have anything covered. You know, and there was so many beautiful things that the women were wearing that I was like, okay, you know, it was very beautiful to see it done both ways.
Okay.
I mean, so it may not be a law. I think I'm just sleepy and just talking. but I definitely know it's religious, and I believe it's just a respect factor of respecting your body, and, you know, and the men just having to actually get to know you and not be looking at what you got, you know.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I enjoyed it. What else did we do? We rode their train and bus system, which was really cool. We went to the Jumeirah Palm, which there's pretty much, it's like this island, so to speak, where there's like all of these branches that literally, but like when you're in an aerial view, it literally looks like a palm tree. And so there's residential houses, the Atlantis Hotel and Water Park is over there. What else? Like, there's so many other things that are there, and it's really beautiful. But then, like, at a certain point of it, you can't, like, actually cross over the water. So what you have to do is, like, so there's a train that goes through there, that goes through to, like, the Atlantis Hotel, but cars cannot cross over. They have to go under. And so there's an underwater tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like, oh my God. So they have to go through the underwater tunnel to, like, get to the other side. It was really cool. Let's see. Like, we did quite a few things. But I know the one thing. Yeah, but I know the one thing for me was every day from the time we were there to the day we left, I woke up and had breakfast. I don't wake up and have breakfast over here.
You don't. You are not a breakfast person.
I don't. So here's the thing. I love breakfast. I just don't wake up to eat it.
Yeah, me too.
But when I was there, I woke up every morning for breakfast.
And had a nice breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, number one, I didn't have to make it.
True.
So it was so easy living over there because I didn't have to make shit. People was making it for me. I was like, yeah.
Did you see like a lot of Americans? I did like a little bit of research.
Oh yeah.
That is a lot of Americans that live over there who work, and the pay is like excellent.
Yeah, so I did see there were a lot of Americans that were there. Definitely a lot of people touring. Now touring and just visiting, there were so many different kinds of people there. It was awesome. I mean, it was, some ghetto black folks there, and then some.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, that they just, I was like, oh Jesus Christ. Okay. Hey, much love to you, but I'm not gonna be disrespecting these people's culture by singing a Christian hymn. Yeah, that happened. It happened. Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna comment on that one, but go ahead.
What else?
Go ahead.
Let's see. Yes, I had breakfast every morning. They have this waterfall show that goes on at night, and they do like a few different waterfall shows, and it's so nice, and they do it to music, and it's actually the highest one. So a lot of people go to Las Vegas and they go to the ones like at Caesar's Palace. Well,
ain't got nothing on that.
Got shit on Dubai Mall.
Oh wow!
Dubai Mall. I mean, when I tell you that shit was shooting up in the air, I was like it was awesome. I was like, oh my god. I'm trying to think of anything else because I mean we did so much.
I know, just in 5 days, it was a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it was, and I'm glad I've had time to really like process everything that I experienced over there because it was just a beautiful experience of just how everybody's living in harmony, and just how everybody is respectful of one another. Like, I mean, girl, even down to them driving, like, you would love driving over there. Like, you would really love driving over there because you don't have people cutting you off. People are respectful on the road. And here's the thing. Now, this actually is a law. So, although you have a horn in your car, you're not supposed to ever honk it at anybody. If you do, and it's reported, they will get your car, take the horn out of it, and then give you your car back. And for the rest of the time, you can, and it literally will have, like, when somebody goes to look at your driver's license, it will have on there, like, when they pull it up, when the police pull it up, it will be put on there that you are not allowed to have a car horn because that's a sign of disrespect.
So what's the point of the horn then if I can't? I mean,
it's a sign of disrespect, but it pretty much is there to help people be mindful of respectful driving.
Oh,
yes. So unlike all that honking horn shit you get over here in the U.S., when you're over there,
you can't do that.
You'll hear them like if they're trying to get somebody's attention for something, but and all that like doing it disrespectfully and just continuously doing it. No, because their whole thing is you need to be respectful of one another.
Okay.
Because I mean, like if you go and you do the research, car crashes and stuff rarely happen over there. Because they are truly respectful of each other driving. It's beautiful as hell, and I just love it. I was like, I'm gonna learn how to drive over here because you motherfuckers over. I'm gonna learn how to drive over there in Dubai because you crazy motherfuckers over here in the U.S. scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah. It's definitely some road rage. I wouldn't even know how to handle that type. I wouldn't know how to handle that type of driving.
Yeah, and the thing is, because the thing is, you can't speed over there. You can't. Like, you cannot, like, you can kind of sort of go over the speed limit, but you really don't want to.
Okay. They kind of got very strict traffic laws with that. Okay.
Yeah, they do. What else? We went and did like ATV riding over sand dunes, which was really cool. Then after that, we did a sand dune roller coaster ride. In hindsight, it was fun, but while I was in the midst of it, I was not having fun because, so y'all, I have vertigo, and doing
I saw
all
that
of that
video
up
on your
and
mama's
down.
Instagram.
Yeah, and so doing all that up and down, it fucked with me really bad. So it was a horrible experience in like as I was in it, but when I think about it and I reminisce on it, it was fun, but I don't plan on doing that ever again. Because, and the thing is, like, you know, we did because, like, the drivers that we had, they were very well trained to do that. Because you have to get training to, like, do the roller coaster riding, like, of the sand dunes and things like that. Then, after that, we had a moment where we got out of the car and we went up this sand hill to look at this beautiful sunset, and we took pictures and everything. It was very beautiful. Then after that, they took us to this Dubai dinner, which the dinner was good, but we were told that we were going to be in tents with pillows, just like the whole Arabian
Nights type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, they had tables and chairs, and I was like,
that'll work too.
No.
No,
because that's not what we were sold. That's not what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yes, like literally, like we had just regular ass tables with chairs, and they had like, Arabian cloths over them, and I was like,
so what happened to the pillows and eating on the ground then?
So we asked about that, and they told us that there were a lot of people that were coming, complaining about their back and being uncomfortable. So they changed it to mean that. And I'm like, well, if that's what y'all changed it to, y'all need to sell it as this.
Exactly.
Rather than selling it as we going to be in a tent, feeling all Arabian and shit. Like, no. So that was my one thing for them. I was like, okay. But I mean, it was a great experience. Even going to the bathroom, like it wasn't like US bathrooms, because every stall is like its own little room.
Shut up.
Like, dead ass. Every stall is literally like its own little room. You have like a little sprayer as a bidet. If you want to clean, girl, look.
They have bidets?
Yes,
because
so literally like on the wall that would be like right here, there's like a sprayer, and so you just pick up that sprayer and you put it down there and you spray. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you clean yourself like that. I was like, oh, I ain't do it because I didn't know how to work it. But then, like, on the last day, I asked somebody, and they were like, yeah, you just take spray, and you just spray it and put it back, and it's fine. I mean, even down to the point where instead of having like toilet seat covers, so what you do is you get tissue, and then they have like the sanitizer that comes out for you to wipe the toilet seat.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then you just put the tissue in the toilet, and you sit down, do your business, use the bidet, and pat yourself dry, put stuff on, and you're good. Like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a debate. I'm gonna get a bidet.
I was about to say you finna buy you a bidet, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a bidet. I was like, yeah, let me get one of these, because I was like, if this could save me with tissue just a little bit,
girl, tissue be going out of business.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there was so many different experiences that we had that it was amazing. We went to Zabil Palace, which is where a lot of the sheikhs live.
Do they still have sheikhs?
Mm-hmm, sheikhs, yes.
Oh, it's called sheikhs? I thought it was sheikhs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's sheikhs. Yeah.
Sheikhs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do still have them, but the sheikhs are familial, meaning that every sheikh that has ever been in Dubai or the UAE, they're all a part. Like they're descendants of each other. So like, you know, so if you aren't in that, they're like bloodborne in that family, you cannot be a sheikh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's kind of like England with the Queen. Like, you got to be in the family to be a part of the royal
family, but they're not doing none of that incest shit, right? They are marrying. No, they got some fresh blood coming in, right?
I mean, yeah. So like they'll, you know, so the sheikhs, you know, they'll go out and, you know, and find their wives or whatever, and then like the way they work, girl, I was like, I need to be a sheikh.
Yes.
So listen to this. They wake up in the morning, they have breakfast or whatever, smoke a cigarette, they go to work. They work for like 2 or 3 hours.
Wait,
they
what?
Get off work, they smoke, they go and they'll spend time with their family, they smoke, they go out, you know, have a good time at night, be with other women or whatever they gonna do, smoke, come home, go sleep, wake up, do the same thing. Girl.
Minus all that smoking, I'm down for it.
Hell, shit. That's how I was like, fuck, how can I turn into a man and be a sheikh? I was like, oh my God. But if y'all are wondering, I have a smoothie from Smoothie King.
Oh, I love Smoothie King.
Girl, I was feeling it today. I needed it. I was like, I
was wondering why your tongue was blue, though.
Girl, and the thing is, it's blue because of my tongue ring. But, yeah. And normally I don't have a taste for smoothies, but today I did. And I was like, somebody's going to bring me a smoothie. And they did.
All right. It sounded like you had a good time.
Girl, I had a great time. It was amazing.
That I do want to visit one day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I want to go back again because, I mean, there was just so many other things that we didn't really get to do, which was totally fine. Because, you know, it's meant for you to hopefully go back again. And I do want to go back again so I can eat that food again because that shit was amazing. Oh
yes, Indian food is delicious. I don't think a lot of people know how good it is.
Man, like, even some of the stuff that have a little spice to it is so dang good.
Yes.
And naan is fucking awesome.
Yes, naan is good. There is like an Indian place that Mom used to like to go to. I don't know if it's still around. It's in Highland Park, but we would always go get the chicken curry. It was operated by Indian girl. It was green. It was like a sick color looking green, but it was delicious.
Nice.
It was delicious. But yeah, so moving on, we're going to be talking about the Emmys. And so, okay. So I wanted to talk about it because I don't watch awards or anything like that, but I was scrolling through Twitter the next morning after the Emmys just to see who won or whatever like that. I do keep up with that. And it was like a whole hashtag Emmy So White. So apparently we had a lot of Black nominees for the Emmys. A lot.
Yeah,
we had
as
always. We had Cedric the Entertainer, who was hosting the Emmys. We had a lot of Black people who were the presenters. But if it serves me wrong, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ebony, I think we only had 3 people who actually got an award, which Debbie Allen, icon, legend herself.
Yeah, she got like a
Primetime Emmy Award.
What was it? Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
No, it was a Primetime Emmy Governor's Award. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it was like a very prestigious award that she got, which very much so deserved.
Well overdue.
Yeah. Let's see. Michaela Cole won for "I Might Kill You." Oh no, "I May Destroy You." That's what it is. "I May Destroy You."
Okay.
Yeah. So she won. Very beautiful.
RuPaul.
Yes, RuPaul won for a competition program.
Regina King.
Huh?
Regina King.
What did she win for?
She won
Hell, I
television
watched the
academy.
thing.
It's called a Television Academy Honors for her limited
Okay, yeah,
series
that was
Watchmen.
yeah. So that was when they did it. So they didn't show that. So there were a lot of these awards that they did not show because I
Well,
didn't
pooh.
know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? The main thing is though, it's very few people of color, and I'm not just talking about Black people, but even Latino or Asian won an Emmy. And so I want to play something that I saw on Instagram from, what is this dude's name? Marco Milton Hill.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. But anyway, I think it's sad that even though in 2021 we're still having these issues, because it's so hard for us to get a seat at the table. Like, we have to work extra hard to finally get that seat at the table. And the crazy part is, even when we get to the seat of the table, we still have to bring our own chair. We have to bring our own food, our own plates, our own silverware. And still, on top of all of that, we can't be comfortable. You know, we can't finally say we arrived. We still have to work extra hard while we're at the table with our own things, just to prove to everybody else around there that we deserve to be there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to play this right here. It's only a minute 17 video, but he works for the, what is this? The Black News Tonight. He's one of the anchors. So this is what he had to say about the Emmys. Hold on.
Okay.
Listen, y'all.
Can you hear it?
I understand why you're mad that Black folk are not getting Emmys. We made up 44% Black and brown people of the nominations and didn't get any of the major awards. But look, it's 2021. We have to stop expecting something different. We have to stop expecting our open enemies to feed us, to clothe us, to shelter us. We have to stop expecting people who have colonized us to educate us. And we have to stop expecting people who have made a history of exploiting our culture, of mocking our bodies, our hips, our lips, our noses, and then going in and get surgery to look like us, to make fun of our music and call it devil music, and then make billions and trillions of dollars off it, whether it was jazz, blues, rock, or hip-hop. They don't love you. So stop looking to their award shows for affirmation. Stop looking for their awards to verify who we are. Accept your own and be yourself. That means leave them alone. Are the Emmys wrong? Yeah. Are the Emmys racist? Absolutely. But you can't continue to be disappointed, because disappointment reflects an expectation. And at this point, after 400 plus years, you got to stop expecting stuff from them.
Wow.
Your thoughts?
You know what? I agree. I definitely agree with what everything he said, because at the end of the day, this has been going on for so long, and so why expect something like, of course, yes, you want something different and you want people to change. Of course, I get it. However, at what point do you give up hope and move on? At what point do you say, you know what, let's create our own national show so that we can recognize ourselves, which, you know, you have the NAACP awards, you have, you know, what is it? Oh gosh, like the SAG-AFTRA, there's,
The Stellar Awards. I've never seen a white person for gospel.
Stellar Awards. I mean, so you have all of these different avenues that represent and celebrate us. And so my thing is, you know, yes, we want to win these prestigious awards, but let's look into winning some of these other awards. You know, let's look at bringing more viewership to all these other award shows that celebrate us.
Right, right.
You know, because my thing is, you know, yeah, I love watching the Emmys because I look at all kinds of shows. I don't just look at Black shows or white shows.
True, me too.
look at like whatever catches my whatever catches my interest. That's what I look at. Like Ted Lasso, I literally, well, I'm still like looking at it, but honestly, like I looked at Ted Lasso and I was like, damn, like the writing is amazing, the acting is amazing. I was like, okay, I kind of see why they won some of those awards over, some of the others, but The Crown continuing to just win and Mayor of Easttown or Easton, whatever it's called. I'm like, really?
Why?
Like, why?
Now I can't. Go ahead.
Queen's Gambit. Now I will say the Queen's Gambit. That shit's amazing.
Yeah, the Queen's Gambit is really.
The Queen's Gambit is good. I'm sorry. I mean, that's good. And Handmaid's Tale. You
can. Have you started watching the new season?
I haven't started watching the new season because I'm. The last season got me.
I know.
The last season got me, and I'm still trying to recover from that, even though I've had like a year and a half or longer. But even still, I'm trying to recover. But yeah, so I haven't started watching it yet, but I am going to start. But I mean, there's just some shows where it's like, okay, yeah, like come on. And it really did break my heart that for Conan, with him just ending his very last season and pretty much kind of retiring from doing late night talk show hosting, that he didn't come away with anything. That really broke my heart. I was like, wow. I like Conan, but I'm not that big of a fan. But I was like, just in honor of him, like, why not give him one of those awards? Like, come on. Like, the Tonight Show with Colbert, like,
because all of that is predetermined anyway. I agree with Marco said, but then on the other hand, I understand why a lot of Black talent want to win an Emmy, want to win an Oscar, because it opens up doors.
It does. Yeah,
it opens up doors and let other people know, even though you already know that you're a good actor or actress or whatever, or the show that you've produced and written or whatever is good, but it validates you on another level. It puts you in that playing field with your other counterparts. I just wish that other people could see the talent that we have and not dismiss us like they do. And I just wish that we wouldn't try to, I guess, put on a show and validate ourselves of our own self-worth that we have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
the Emmys was created by white people.
Yeah.
It's already predetermined, so I don't know. It was it was disappointing. And like you said, we get disappointed and we expect more, but then we turn around and our feelings get hurt in the end.
Yeah. And the thing is, what? I think that the expecting more comes more from those of us who are fans. Because some of these actors, I mean, they go into this knowing, they know what Hollywood
is about.
Yeah, and it's like, if I win, it's a surprise. If I don't, great for you who did just win. Because I probably saw about 3 episodes of your show, and you ain't, whatever. Yeah. Or, whatever it may be. So for me, I think it's more of us as fans needing to come to grips with the fact that Oscars is white, Emmys is white, Grammys is pretty much almost kind of white. Tony Awards is white, but they getting there though.
They're getting there though,
because I did look at the Tonys, which it did come on last Sunday, because it was like the Tony Awards present Broadway is back, and it was awesome. It was amazing. There were quite a few people of color that did win something, so I was like, yes,
okay.
But then also looking at Broadway, to kind of I'm gonna come back, but we're talking about award shows.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, looking at Broadway, there are so many shows that have representation in them, so they have no choice but to see that. And you can't call yourself all inclusive if you're not gonna include us and other people that have skin color close to ours,
right?
And so, but that was a very beautiful show. I really enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed looking at the Tonys a whole lot more than I did the Emmys, because the Emmys, I was like, okay, this is getting boring. Like, all the same people are winning. Like, all the same shows are winning. Like, The Crown just kind of
swept it away.
I mean, damn. Ted Lasso won some here and there, which, like I said, for some of the stuff they did deserve it. The Queen's Gambit won a few, which I was like, okay, that's a good ass show. They kind of do deserve it. But like some of these other ones, I'm like, nah, because I'm like looking and I'm like, okay, the clips that they were showing of some of these things, because there were so many people from Hamilton that were nominated, and I was like, some of them should have won over the people that actually did win the awards. But and it's not that I'm biased or anything, because like there were a few where I was like, ooh, that's, what, for any one of the ones from, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 shows that I had seen, I was like, anyone from them shows, I'm cool with it. And then it ended up being somebody from the goddamn Crown. I'm like, you know what, fuck you. Just fuck you. Oh, white people.
Baby, them rich came over and took over on the Crown. Like I said, we're not racist. We love all of y'all. But it's just, come on. We get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. It's like unseasoned chicken. It's like like unseasoned chicken where you just put a little sprinkle of salt and pepper. There's no flavor. Can we get some Old Bay, some garlic powder, some Mrs. Dash, some Slap Your Mama? Something to give it a little flavor.
But funny thing, I've never had Slap Your Mama seasoning. I don't own any.
I don't either. I had it on some boiled eggs, and honestly, the Slap Your Mama is so fucking salty. Girl, you get blood pressure.
Girl, I already got blood pressure.
And they don't even sell it in the unsalt kind. Like, I use Creole unsalt. Like, all my seasoning has no salt in it.
Yeah,
like, Slap Your Mama is just so salty for no reason.
I can't do that.
I can't either.
It's just, at what point do you, for me, with these, with the people that do the voting, I don't know how they do it, which I really should look up how they actually do, how they actually vote for, like, who wins what. Like, is there a scoring process? Like, what is it? Now,
if I'm not mistaken, I know with some of these awards, there's like somebody put your name in. There's a scoring process, and I do need to do some more research about it too. But I also think it's money involved too.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I'm just like, at what point, what point can we get to where we look and say, we're like y'all look and say, okay, let's fix how we score the Emmys, or how we, come up with these winners to really truly make it fair.
Right, because there's no telling how long that policy has been in place.
Yeah, and so my thing is, they probably need updated policies for how they come up with these winners, how they come up with who's even in these categories. Because the fact that This Is Us didn't really, hell, I don't think they won shit.
They didn't.
And I'm like, wait the fuck a minute. This is Us didn't win a
that was so good. So good. So well written. Actors and actresses on point. Some of the actors they played their part a little too good, but it was so good. was so good.
And I will say this: if This Is Us had been nominated for a whole lot of shit, I would have like, This Is Us, yes.
We won.
I would have been. Hey, I would have been like, you deserve it. You deserve it. Because This is good. I mean, but I will say this: just looking at who was nominated, such as like Kenan Thompson, I've been following his career since all that, and he is now the longest running member on Saturday Night Live. And so not only did he get nominated for him being on Saturday Night Live, he got nominated for being on his own damn show, Kenan. I was like, well, I said, that man doing something good. And I'm just so happy.
He's a genius. He's a genius. And the crazy part is that a lot of who we know, who we grew up watching, who we know are just so good in their field. Other people are just not seeing that. You know, they're just not getting recognition. Yep. And I think that's sad because some of them are older. They ain't really got too many more years left in them.
The days are numbered.
The days are numbered, and that's, you know, and I think that's the sad part. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the sad part.
Now I will say somebody that I was happy to see that one was oh Lord, what is her name? Where is it? Nope. Is she already in here? Nope, she's up. She won for Mayor of Easttown. What is that lady's name? She's you know, English, British, something. Gosh, cause she in it. Jean Smart. No, she's in Hex. That's what she's in, Hex. Jean Smart. I was very happy to see her win. You know, older white lady, she's British or English or something. But yeah, I was very happy to see her win something because, you know, I'm, you know, pretty big fan of her, but kind of was sad that she won over Tracy Ellis Ross. So I was like, shit.
Yeah. Well,
baby,
what can you do?
Tracy be playing Rainbow. I'd be like,
yes, she does.
She plays the shit out of that role. And Anthony Anderson does a great job as playing Andre. I'm like, dang, you know? But hey, it is, you know, shit.
Hopefully some change will come with that.
I definitely hope change will come too, because I mean it's time for it. Like it's time for it, and it's like I'm tired of just all white people winning. Like I really truly want to see some people of color winning in a lot of these places. Okay, I know what it was. I'm scrolling through looking at like all the winners and stuff like that, and so it was outstanding lead actor in a drama series, and so the ones where I was like, you know what, any one of these, I'm happy with them. So it was Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us, Regé-Jean Page, Billy Porter. I was like, any one of those three could have won in that category, and I would have been totally happy for them. And they gave it to Josh O'Connor, The Crown. And I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, hell, I know. I mean, at least Sterling K. Brown and Billy Porter, like, they did. Like, I mean, come on, y'all. Yeah. But I was like, all right. And I mean, you know, I'm a little biased towards Hamilton, just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. But,
just a little bit.
You know, yeah. Just a little teensy tiny bit. But anyway, I think I digress. But yeah, I definitely agree with him with, you know, what the guy said about, you know, we just need to stop expecting.
Yeah. Because we wind up disappointed every time.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things where it's like, you know, go ahead and give up hope. It's okay.
Because clearly nothing is really going to be changing unless something drastic happens. Yeah. And you know what? That's when change usually happens. When shit hits the fan. Yeah. And yeah, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But moving on, our last topic for tonight, which we saved. I did want to speak about this Robert Kelly. aka R. Kelly. I have so much to say about this.
Convicted.
He's convicted. He was, but
And
you know
still
what?
not done.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. You know, he was just convicted in New York. He still is facing charges in Illinois and Michigan, which is all federal charges. Now, the funny thing is for him with this conviction in New York, that is a sentence to 10 to life, because one of the main charges was racketeering, which is basically a criminal enterprise. R. Kelly wasn't convicted over 20 years ago with that video of him and that girl who was clearly underage, where he urinated on her, in the same video where he gave his full name, same video where he gave his social security number, but he wasn't convicted. I think he had Johnny Cochran as his attorney, and if you had Johnny, you was gonna get off. But I digress on that. I just find it, I don't know, I would say satisfying that justice has been served, even though it took so long. I also feel like his entourage should be charged, because he didn't run this shit by himself.
No, he didn't. I mean,
it's impossible.
The motherfucker can't read or write. He didn't do this shit by himself.
So it was like a debate or whatever that I was looking at some feeds on Twitter and Instagram. A lot of people said that they wasn't going to listen to his music. And I'll be honest, you know, even when all this shit hit the fan, I was still listening to some R. Kelly music, because despite who he is and what he's done, you can't deny the man was a musical genius. But some of his songs I have stopped listening to. A lot of people say that you have to separate the artist from the man. And if you really just listen to his songs and dissect his lyrics, the man and the artist were the same thing. Because some of some of his greatest hits were based off of his perversions. Yes. The song that he wrote for Aaliyah, who he tried to get with when she was 15, he wrote Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And everybody loved that song.
I mean, and the thing is, I mean, back then you ain't think nothing of it.
You didn't think nothing of it. You didn't think nothing of that. Exactly.
We knew nothing. Nobody came out and said anything. I mean, you talking about the 90s, but nobody gonna come out and say nothing. No.
Exactly. So,
but yikes. For me, like, it's very hard for me to not listen to songs that he's written for other people, because it's like, I'm sorry, like Tony Braxton, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop listening to I Don't Want To. I'm sorry. Tony Braxton is my favorite female singer. I am not going to stop listening to that song. But when it comes to his actual songs, when that series came out about
Trapped in the Closet,
that documentary about surviving
R. Kelly,
when that came out, and I'm listening and hearing all this stuff that these women are saying, I said, oh, fuck him. I'm not, and the thing is, I don't even have his music wasn't even in my phone anyway, so I was like, we good. I don't have to, there are so many other great, amazing songs by other artists that I can listen to when I want to be in the mood or when I just want to vibe or something. It's so many other artists that I can listen to that ain't him. And I think I
only have like 3 songs of his that's on my phone, which is Step in the Name of Love, I Believe I Can Fly, and The World's Greatest. That's it. Maybe I'm not listening to that 12 play.
I Believe I Can Fly. You can't.
He was such a hypocrite. No, because it's funny.
So here's the thing. I don't have that song on my phone. I don't. So when I say I have no R. Kelly, like, of his actual songs that he's sung, I don't have none of that shit on my phone. I don't have it on my phone.
I have 3 songs.
Now, I do have the version that Yolanda Adams did on one of her albums of I Believe I Can Fly. So
I got that one too.
I can,
You can still listen to it. You can still listen to it.
Because Yolanda Adams singing it.
Right.
So it's a little okay.
It's okay. I'm gonna read this. I saw this on Facebook yesterday.
Okay.
This guy named Cameron Harris posted this on Facebook, and he said, R. Kelly told y'all 23 years ago his mind was telling him no, but his body was telling him yes. He ain't... Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm a laugh when you're done. I'm a laugh real hard. I mean, I already laugh hard, but I'm a stop my laugh now and continue when you're done.
Okay. Okay. His body was telling him yes. He ain't seen nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. He's been feeling on booties and putting his key in ignition since day one. If they seem like they're ready, he got half on a baby.
I can't.
But is he lying though? But is he lying?
You should have sent this to me so I could have been prepared.
Yeah. I got a little bit more.
Oh my God. Okay.
He told them to keep it on the down low, or else they're gonna end up trapped in the closet. Nobody was paying attention. Yes.
He told us, and
but we weren't paying attention.
We weren't paying attention.
You know what?
I'll be honest, when it came out, because so when the whole thing about him peeing on old girl came out, that was like the early 2000s. I hadn't seen the video, so I was like, you know what, these people. Well, no, at that point, I hadn't seen the video.
They were selling that big T.
Baby, at that point, I hadn't. That wasn't a thing. Because it was like people were talking about it, and I'm like, people just after him because he made good music, and y'all just hating, and she might have looked underage, but she was probably 21, 22. And y'all don't. That's the mindset I was in because I hadn't seen the video.
I saw the video,
and shit. I was young, I think I was middle school, high school, so shit, my ass was young. That wasn't something to think about of somebody, of something coming out. And I don't know. And so I didn't see the video until I was in college. Because in high school, I was doing I was in the drill team. I was doing shit at church. I had way too much going on. So no, that wasn't a thing for me. But when I saw the video, and the girl was shaking her ass, I was like,
oh, she was underage. I saw the video.
I was like, oh, she underage and she knew what the fuck she was doing. I mean,
she knew. She
knew exactly what she was doing.
She knew what was wrong. Oh. Now I saw the video when it came out. Like I said, they were selling the videos at Big T. And that's the same video
how did you see this video?
I went and bought it. What do you mean?
How old were you when you bought this?
Shit, when did they came out in the early 2000s? What was I? When I turned 14? Or already 14? I don't know. No, 2000s. No, I didn't turn 14 to 2014. Shit. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. Because it was about me and my cousin.
14 in 2003.
No, I did not.
Huh?
I turned 14 in 2014. Wait.
Brandy, so that would make you 21 right now.
Oh, shit. You're right. Anyway, my cousin.
No, that would make me 22. But
anyway, whatever. My cousin was staying with us, and he was older. So we went to Big T.
Got it.
That's how we got it. Of course, Mom didn't know. But anyway, we watched it. But yeah, that's the same video where the I guess his bodyguard was like, "Hey, Kels," he's like, "What?" You said his whole fucking name. Motherfucker gave his social security number, and I still don't see how to this day how this motherfucker got.
I mean, hell, I don't. It's how in the hell did you get off? And you literally your name and social security number was said.
But you know what? That should have told him something right there. You should have stopped while you was ahead. You know what I'm saying?
But he thought he was gonna get away with it forever because he feel like I put out all this good ass music and I got my black people behind me. You know, they ain't gonna give me up and blah blah blah. And I got these women on lock because they ain't gonna do shit because I already, I already got them blackmailed and all this other shit. Well,
it happened.
I mean, you can't deny all these women coming out and being able to give detail for detail.
My detail.
I mean, some very
intimate detail.
I mean, damn, I was like.
So I think he got his just results. I think also on the other hand, I'm not sad for him per se as a person who's a predator. Mm-hmm. Because that's what happens. You really need to be up under the jail. I'm more so sad about the music because, like I said, the man was a musical genius. Yeah. Despite everything else, the man had vocal cords for days, and he could write. He wrote for a lot of the top artists in the industry.
Yeah, he wrote for Michael Jackson.
Exactly. And I just feel sorry about that in that regard, but. What can you do? You know, you did the crime. Now you finna do the time, and you finna do something hella time, like time. Like you
about to do something for real time too.
Some real time, right? And it just depends on how they sentence him. Like I said, that charge from New York is like 10 to life. Yeah, depending on how I guess if the judge is feeling generous or whatever. Yeah, but you still have 2 other. Charges that you got to face in 2 other states, so you don't know how that's gonna roll. But because it's like you didn't have this going on in just one state, you had this shit going on in multiple, like shit and crossed over, and we don't even know because there might be some women who did not come forward.
Oh, I guarantee.
So you got that there, and I feel bad for his family, even though I feel like somebody knew.
Oh, hell yeah, somebody knew.
Not just his entourage.
I don't think it was his brother that knew.
I think his ex-wife knew, but nobody said
but
shit.
But she was a part of the abuse, though.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, and Andrea was a part of the abuse because when you look at when you look at the documentary, she's in it, and she talks about how she was abused as well. Like, she was a part of that abuse, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But, I don't know. I just don't have any type of sympathy for people like that who take advantage. Now, granted, like that girl in the video back in the 2000s, she was old enough to know wrong from right. Yeah. She knew what she was doing. And yet and still she did it. I don't know if it was for clout, to say that, hey, I fucked R. Kelly and he urinated on me or what, but you could have easily, I would say, I don't know, you could have easily said, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few instances where, a lot of these women were coming forth about how they were 14, 15, 16, and you're doing this stuff. And... I just, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm blaming them.
The victims, right? Because I'm not.
I'm blaming the victim. I'm not, but it's just as we move forward on in life for these young girls to understand, just because you see this man this artist that you love and that you idolize, does not mean you need to get physical with them like that. And especially for you being so young, stop. Don't push yourself in that situation to be victimized.
Right.
Because some of this stuff could have been avoided. All of it could have been avoided. Especially for the woman that was 33 years old and you got into a relationship with him. That could have been really? No, I mean, and I also think that it's just helping young girls understand that you are beautiful. No artist, no entertainer should ever have to be the first to tell you that you are beautiful for you to actually believe it.
That's true.
Or to tell you that you have some type of talent and you believe it. Like, no, it should be a thing of you believing in yourself, knowing what your own self-worth is. Because, honey, I'm going to tell you, there is no way, no entire way that at 14, 15, 16, some artist that wasn't my age, or, I mean, an artist that was older than me, like, much older, like in their 20s and 30s, could have been, thinking they was gonna kidnap my ass and do some shit, because baby, I would have raised all kinds of hell.
Okay, I'm not going down without a fight.
Nah, like, I mean, and that's just not, that ain't the type of family I was raised in, where you just cower it down. No, fuck that. You think you gonna put your hands on me, or you gonna neglect me? You gonna take me away from my family? Oh, nah. I'm about to fight your ass.
We gonna have a fight. Yeah,
we about to have a fight, and somebody gonna die, and it ain't gonna be me.
Right.
Like, no, that's not happening. But and I do feel bad for the women that went through this.
Absolutely.
I definitely do feel bad for them, because no woman should be victimized. No matter how old you are, no woman should be victimized. Like I said, do I believe some of this, a lot, if not all of this, could have been avoided? Hell yeah. But, in the end, it wasn't. And, it's lessons learned. It's so many lessons learned on, how we need to act and present ourselves in front of these artists. Because the thing is, we only really know them by the music that they put out and the interviews that they do. And a lot of this stuff with these interviews, the stuff is coached. So you're getting, and so you're getting what they've planned out to say. You're not getting necessarily a real answer, even though the answer probably is real. You're not really seeing them 24/7, day to day, so you can't say this artist or that artist,
because you don't
know everything about them, because you don't.
Because what they show to the public is a persona, versus what their private life is.
Yes, and so it's really truly just that thing of people need to be careful, and you need to understand that an artist is an artist. It is meant for your entertainment, not for you. I mean, not for you to be all in their face, all in their lives, wanting them to, thinking that, if you give them a little ass, you give them a little this or that, you gonna get where you want to be. Because hell, look at some of these girls that wanted to actually be singers, have beautiful voices, and he told them, come and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and look at them. I mean, brainwashed and just victimized.
I mean, just in general, look at the artists now, like the male artists who slept with their fangirls and have kids. Future comes to mind with all his baby mamas. Sierra's in it as well, even though they were dating. But the man has like multiple kids by multiple women. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Lil Wayne. I like Lil Wayne.
I love him.
Love him, but
I love him.
Like, why? Why do you think that what you have between your legs is going to keep him on lock that so many other women have? They couldn't do it. It come a dime a dozen, sweetheart. I'm sorry to tell you, it comes a dime a dozen. You know. But yeah, that was all I had to say about Robert Kelly.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, but I'm glad he is being convicted and he is being tried and charged. I definitely hope for like all the other men that have been convicted, that have been not convicted, but that have been put out there, that they will be convicted, such as Harvey Weinstein and what's the news anchor man?
What is his name?
Shit, and I used to know it because I was looking at him on Channel 5 on the Today Show. On Today.
Was he charged with sexual?
Mike Lauer or Mike Lauer? I know the last name was Lauer.
What was he charged with?
I don't think he was charged with anything just yet, but he was alleged that he was sexually harassing or sexually abused his assistant or somebody that was working for him or something like that.
Huh.
And it came up that it was like more than one person. It was like more than one female.
Shit. Mark.
Yeah, Mike Lauer. That's his name.
Mike Lauer. I know because I'm a avid.
Yeah, Matt Lauer. Yeah.
Video game, and one of the companies, Blizzard, that's based in California, they did an $18 million settlement because they had employees that was sexually harassing the women.
Wow.
So $18 million settlement
to shut their mouth.
They settled out of court. They was either because it was gonna be bad if they went to court. It was gonna be bad. They probably wouldn't have had a company if they would have went to court.
Yeah.
So I think it was like it's just best to settle out of court, give y'all money, and you go your way. We go our ways, and we just won't talk about this ever again. But yeah. Wow. All right. So, are you ready for your Professionally Woke? What are you doing? What are you doing for Professionally Woke this week?
So I had it and I wrote it down and I can't find the paper.
Nice.
It's amazing, so amazing. But so I think because I can't remember what I wanted to talk about. This is so horrible. Oh my gosh. I should have put it on the dang docket when I had it. Let me see. I think I can talk. Well, I guess, knowing when it's the right time for you to leave a job, because, that's something that I think is never discussed. Well, I think this is what I wanted to talk about. But it's very important that people, period, know when it's right for you, when it's the right time for you to leave a job. Because a lot of times we can stay at a job for so many years or, for so many months or whatever. And only because we're adulting and so, we need a job and we gotta have a job. And so you start taking all types of bullshit.
Amen.
For me, I'll be honest, with the mental health jobs that I've had, I never left because they told me to. I left because I needed to or I had to. Case in point, me leaving my last job. It was a situation where I felt unsupported, and me and the administration, the main administration that was over me, me and that person, we were not seeing eye to eye on so many things, and it just, and there weren't any changes being made that needed to be made for our department to work as a whole. And I wasn't willing to just sit there and let that stuff happen and not say anything. Well, I guess they got tired of me saying something. And it just kind of really got to the point where I was like, you know what? I feel unsupported. I'm going to resign. Now I had a date set, but they were like, you know what? We think it's best that we go ahead and honor your resignation now. I was like, okay, cool. Because I could have sat there and negotiated my time. I could have, but I chose not to because I was like, you know what? I'd already put my resignation in and they want to go ahead and honor it now. Let's go ahead and honor it now and let me go on about my way. And I did. It hurt my pockets a little bit, but I had a job that I was going to, I had already gotten another job, so I wasn't hurting too bad, but I was hurting a little bit. But when you see that administration is not treating you right and you're just overly, because it's one thing to have because you're going to have stress on your job. That's
Yeah.
going to happen no matter what, whether you love your job or not, you're going to have job stress. It's going to come. How you deal with it and how much of it you're going through, that's important to really know and understand. And for me, the amount of stress that I was under, I literally did not see any way out but to just move on. You know, I learned what I needed to learn from that job. I got what I needed to get, because while I was there, I got my counselor license, and I was like, okay, this opens even more doors for me.
Right.
For me to do what I really truly want to do and what I'm passionate about, and make the money that I want to make right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got that very job, where I'm making the money I want to make, and I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing what I love. But it took me having enough backbone to realize and be able to say, this is not right. I'm not going to stand for this. We're going to have to figure something else. Like, I need to figure something else out for myself, because this is because now the stress is becoming unhealthy for me.
Right.
And when the stress becomes unhealthy for you, that's when it's time for you to strategize how to make your move. Now, I had to learn that, because my second mental health job that I had, I didn't just up and quit. Like, I gave them I think 30-day notice. It was supposed to be 2-week notice, but I ended up staying there for almost 30 days, because I wanted to make sure that whoever was taking over my caseload had 1 or 2 weeks where they didn't have to worry about doing the stuff that was very time consuming, where they could get acquainted with it and not have so much to do. But I just, I put in my resignation, and I was applying for jobs and things like that, but I literally went, I think, 2.5 months without a job. And that was the worst feeling for me. But from that, I learned that whenever I'm going to leave a job, I need to make sure I have another job to go to.
True.
And so when I got my third mental health job, it's still a great company, and I respect and love everybody that I worked with, but I simply left because the stress was it was just the stress of going in between two different departments, like the outpatient and inpatient department. It was just a lot, and they weren't willing to necessarily pay me what I wanted to get paid. So I ended up, so I made the decision for myself to leave, because the stress, and also me knowing my worth,
right,
and understanding that if you're not wanting or willing to give me what I want and what I know I deserve, I'm gonna have to leave. Yeah. And so, but the thing is, I didn't make the decision to leave until I knew I had another job. Mm-hmm. I didn't say anything, because I was like, I need to make sure that even if I just have a part-time job, I need to know that I'm going to something else that's not this.
Right, right.
And literally, I did that. And it was the same with, me leaving, the last job to this new job. So it's just really truly knowing your worth. Definitely knowing your worth and being able to negotiate that price that you're going to be working for, as well as knowing and understanding when too much is really truly too much, because you're going to go through stress, and you just have to learn how to deal with it. But there's stress where literally when you're coming home from work and you are exhausted, and all you doing on your 1 or 2 days off is sleeping. And you're not able to put any self-care into your life. Yes. Because it literally got to the point for me where I was coming home exhausted every single day. you know, my family would want to do stuff with me, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay home because I'm tired, I'm sleepy, or I'm doing something with my family and I'm tired as hell, so I'm not enjoying it. And hell, I got a boyfriend and I'm barely able to spend time with him because I'm exhausted. And I'm like,
Right.
shit. Like, it just got to a point for me where it was like, okay, nah,
Yeah.
we'll never do this.
I agree.
We're gonna have to figure something else out, you know.
I agree with you. In my own personal story, and of course, I'm not going to say any names, but when I graduated from college, I worked at this school, and I worked there for 7 years, and I had different jobs there. You know, I started from the bottom, and pretty much I worked my way up to the top. And I enjoyed it. You know, my main thing, I saw a lot of things in administration that I did not agree with. But I stayed on as long as I did because I love working with kids, the young adults, and even we had an adult education program. I enjoy working with those adults, you know, who decided to go back and finish their degree. My breaking point for me was last December, and we had a meeting, and it was some miscommunication, some disagreements that I didn't agree with, and pretty much I wasn't going to be talked to like I'm a child. I'm not going to be talked to like I'm something up under the bottom of your shoes. Just because you're over me does not give you the right or the entitlement to speak to me any type of way. So I didn't even give a notice. I just packed my stuff up at lunch and I didn't come back. That was basically it. I didn't have a job lined up, which was a mistake on my end because I was out of work for 4 months and it was a struggle. And the main thing that I learned in those 4 months was because I had some regrets. I had some regrets mainly because how I left. And then maybe I was being too hasty with what I did, you know, because I didn't have a job. But then, like you said, I knew my self-worth. And so I struggled those 4 months. I had to learn how to ask for help, which has always been my biggest thing. It has always been my biggest thing. I have always like, if I didn't have it, you know, I'll just wait until I get it. But I couldn't do that, you know. No. I lost my car, unfortunately. So, and I finally did get a job. Yet again, still not going to name the company. Do I like it? No. Be honest with you. But it's paying the bills. Yeah. My supervisors and my coworkers who I interact with on a daily basis are phenomenal. They're amazing. I actually just got a box today from them because we're having our appreciation week coming up, and so I got a goodie box. Okay. So, cool. But you know, it's just certain things, aspects that I don't. You know, I've talked to you about it, but I know that I can do better. I am applying for other positions because I have a drive and a willingness to work with young adults. So I want to get back into higher education or teaching. So my biggest advice is, yes, know your worth. Yes, if you feel like, you know, if you're not getting the backup that you need, if you're feeling that you're not getting support, if you feel like you're even being abused in some sort of way, if you need to walk away, then you walk away. And do so with no regrets. I am currently now back talking to my old supervisor. We are back. We have talked. We have emailed. We emailed a lot before I actually accepted her call because there was some issues with that because I feel like she didn't support me when she needed to. I'm back talking to my work best friend.
Okay.
So they're keeping me abreast of everything that's going on, and even asked me did I want to come back. No. And it's crazy because I left, and I don't know if I told you, I left, and I was like a month away from getting promoted.
You didn't tell me that. Wow.
I was fixing to be promoted to the assistant director of financial aid.
Wow. And that was going to be more money.
That was going to be hella money. And I left that. And you know what? A lot of things that you have to realize too, it's not always about the money.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not always about the money because it's about the peace of mind. The job that I had, the position that I had was stressful. It was very stressful. And sometimes we had to wear multiple hats because in our contract, and that's another thing, be very, very careful when you read your contract. Because how they would get us is that in our contract, they would always say, as other duties assigned. That's how they get you. They can assign other things to you for you to do and not pay you for it. So if somebody on your job, your boss, your supervisor, asks you to do something and it's not in your contract, you don't even have to say, am I going to get a raise? Just say, am I going to get a pay increase for this extra duty? Okay? Because it's not fair for you because that's extra work, extra effort, extra time you have to put in for something else. But yeah, where I'm at, it's a job. I'll say that. Where I'm at, it's a job. It's paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the lights and everything paid. It's certain aspects that I don't like. And I'm pretty sure that's with everybody because I'm dealing with very multiple personalities every day, different spirits, different everything. And so that in itself, because I am an empath and I am an introvert.
Girl, me too.
It's just it's tiring. It's tiring.
Jesus.
And when you try to maintain your professionalism, but you really want to say something, but no, you can't do that because you get graded on what you're doing. So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you.
And I, you know,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, okay, you go.
I was just saying I got learned a valuable lesson. You know, and I agree with you. Everything in our life comes into our life as a time, a reason, and a season. So I did get what I needed to get while I was there. I learned some things, a lot of things about even working in a corporate aspect. And then I also knew what not to tolerate as well. So
yeah. You know, and just speaking to what you were saying about being an introvert and an empath, I am too. Been an introvert for a while, for a long time. Being now empath, I've probably been an empath all my life, but didn't find out I was.
Didn't know what it was, right?
Until 2016. And when I found out, it explained so much stuff in my life. It explained so much. And so being in the mental health field, it is very exhausting. I love the work, but it is very exhausting. It is. And not just from the therapeutic side, but from me being an empath and feeling and connecting to all those different emotions and stuff like that. It just, it's very much so draining because, you know, it's, you know, one thing to come to work, do your job, but then also when you gotta plan and talk to coworkers too, and it's draining. It's very draining, but I wouldn't trade doing this work for anything else simply because not just that I'm good at it, but I love helping people become healthy, you know, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually healthy and heal from their past traumas and pains and all of that stuff. I love doing that work. So I love my job. I love what I do. It's just, I mean, you know, it's exhausting, but I came into this job with the understanding that all I will be doing is providing counseling services, and that's it. Anything else that I'm asked to do, even though on my thing it said other duties as needed. Literally, my boss was like, "Don't worry about that, because we're really not gonna be asking you to do nothing else, because your schedule is literally filled with you doing counseling work." So she was like, that's really something that, a lot of times we just have to put on there. But I love the fact that at this company, whatever it says you're supposed to do in your contract, you're going to do those main duties. As others' duties as needed, they really don't put too much on that, because they're not going to overload you with stuff, because they just have that understanding, like, okay, what's right and what's not right, what's fair and what's not fair. And I really appreciate that they're going to allow you to work within the confines of your position and not have you doing some other stuff,
Right.
Yeah, so I really love that you brought that up with paying attention to the other duties as needed, because that's a very important thing, because a lot of times people will have you doing stuff that is not in your contract and that is not even a part of your position. That has happened to me a couple of times where, I knew that phrase was there, but I never stopped to think about the fact that they could have me do something that's not within my job title.
If they can get away with it.
Yeah, and paying me pennies, but you want me doing dollar work. No. And that was, something else of just knowing your worth, and, extra job stress that you really don't need.
Right.
And a lot of people, and, for every single job that I've been in, I have really, truly seen all kinds of people, they appear to be confident or whatever, but then they're afraid to tell their boss no. I've never been afraid to tell anybody no.
Neither
and I
have
don't
I.
care what happens afterwards, because my thing is, at the end of the day, if I can't do it, I can't do it. And you're going to have to be okay with that.
Right. Because
my thing
is what it is.
I got enough. And that's where setting boundaries comes into play.
Oh,
because
yes.
Along with knowing how much is too much, that's setting boundaries and being able to say, nope, I can't go any further than where I am now. You're gonna have to be okay with this, because my health is depending on this.
Right. Absolutely.
And you say, and the thing is, I'll throw back in their face words of, you say you're supportive, you say you're understanding. Well, you're going to have to support and understand me when I tell you no.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely. Period.
You're just going to have to.
I agree. But yeah, you know what? I think this has been a very good segment.
This has, and it felt good to come back and do it again.
It did.
We had been away for so long.
Yes.
But,
and missed everybody.
Gosh, we missed y'all so much. But and there was so much that it just happened. But, like we said, there were things that happened. Like for me, I ended up switching jobs, getting another job. My birthday happened, and then went to Dubai, and just there were a lot of between August and September. There were so many changes happening in my life that literally it was difficult for both of us to find time to do this podcast. So
exactly.
But, stuff like this happens. But when we can come and give y'all content, we're gonna come and give y'all content. We're gonna make y'all laugh. We're gonna make y'all think. We're gonna just make you're gonna experience a lot with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the main thing that we want for our listeners and our viewers to do, is to make you think, you think outside the box. I have a lot of friends who I game with who listen to the podcast.
Nice.
And one of them, shout out to Ren. I'm shouting you out. Shout out to Ren. He loves it. He likes our perspective.
Cool.
He likes our perspective and how we think on things. And so I'm very grateful that a lot of people who think that our opinion matters. You know,
Yeah.
of course we think our opinion matters, but other people think it matters, and they agree, and they get an understanding of where we're coming from, because a lot of people do not have the same background as we do. Even though we were raised in the same city, same state, same little area of cliff, even our own backgrounds are different, similar but different, you know. But yeah, I think this is a wonderful thing, and I'm glad that we are sticking to our commitment and pushing at the content. Of course, there are going to be some unforeseen things that happen, and we might not do it. Case in point, you know, these last 2 months, but that's life. That happens.
You know, because I'm
it happens.
You know, just go ahead and let y'all know. I'm getting ready to move from this apartment to a much nicer luxury apartment.
When are you moving?
Very end of like the weekend of Thanksgiving, like the 27th. I'm moving. That whole day is moving, and then the following weekend, me and Pearl are going on a cruise, and we don't come back till the weekend
after that. Yes.
So I mean,
you know what?
We might have to. We might.
You know
have
what
to
I want to do though. You know what I want to do.
Squeeze in on the 18th. We might have to squeeze in doing something, or maybe while we there.
That's what I was thinking. You know what I want to do? This is what I want to do, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. You know, I have a camera. I have a camera. I think that we should blog our trip.
Oh, okay, that would be nice. I got a camera too. I got a camera too. I mean, I got my phone and I got a camera, so you know,
we both ready. We'll make it work. So I think that would be something that would be really good to do. As far as, since we probably won't have time for that month of December, at least that early month anyway, to do a podcast. We can at least do that. We can at least blog. You know.
Yeah, we can at least blog, but I think like on the 18th, like, well, we'll talk about it, but
we'll get it together. But yeah, it's been a pleasure as always.
Yes. Oh, it's so awesome. It's always my favorite thing to do, because it just make me laugh. I just laugh so much.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Again, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell for notifications, so you know when we upload. Check our podcast on all the major podcast sites: Spotify, Google, Apple. We're there. You need to be there. I don't know why you're wasting time. Go ahead.
Why?
And thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. See you later.
Bye. Peace.
Peace.